Now, one of the things that we've been talking a lot about in terms of Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 4 is a lot of these characters and their direction. I mean, one of the biggest things for us as fans is that we want Ghost and the rest of Task Force 141 to be treated more in line like they were in the first installment of Modern Warfare 2019. Now, we know that Ghost didn't come out in that one, but imagine how he would have been presented in the campaign. He came out in multiplayer and in Warzone, so you got a little bit of that, but there was a more grounded feel to these characters. And we've talked a lot about maybe Captain Price and some of the consequences that he's going to be facing because of the stuff that he did to General Shepard and maybe being on the run. And so if the rumors of Modern Warfare 4 taking a more grounded approach, a more serious approach, a more of a real special force operator approach rather than what they've kind of felt, which was like a cheap Avengers or a freaking Fast and the Furious movie, and they're actually trying to ground it and make it gritty, then can you imagine what type of Ghost we're going to get, what type of Simon Ghost Riley we may have in this particular Modern Warfare 4 edition? I think that there's a big opportunity here to make Ghost unhinged, to make Ghost be that savage that we know he can be, that dark guy who's going to come for you. He finds you, he kills you, and this freaking like mythical character. And I know that some of you guys might not like that. Some of you guys are like, no, we don't want that. We just want a real operator, this and that. And I get that, but there's some mystique to Ghost, and some of that mystique needs to really be showcased. And I feel that a lot of that kind of menacing vibe of Ghost disappeared when you were with Soap, because Soap and Ghost really became like best friends, like brothers, during these past few Modern Warfare games. Soap made Ghost open up a little bit more, made him be and feel more like a friend and stuff like that, so you could kind of communicate to Ghost through Soap. But with Soap being dead and Makarov being the guy who killed him, who put a bullet in his head, and Ghost was so close to helping him and saving him, there might be this grudge, there might be this anger. And we talked a little bit a few weeks ago about Ghost being the one that pulls the trigger and kills Makarov. So there could be a lot that leads to that moment. There could be a lot that leads to Ghost being the one who kills Makarov. But in the lead up to that, what if Ghost is just more unhinged? What if Ghost is more angry? What if Ghost is a little bit more argumentative maybe with Price, and it creates some conflict? That could be good for storytelling. That could be good for, Ghost saying, hey, you know what, we're gonna do it this way, or hey, you know what, last time we did it this way, this shit ended up happening. We gotta really do something different. Maybe use his expertise more. And then if we introduce some new characters, like maybe a US element with Delta or something like that, maybe those guys could have some sort of anger maybe towards Task Force 141, and maybe they could have some conflict, and you see Ghost go at it with another guy. That could be pretty interesting. Create some conflict in between the group. I mean, there's a lot that you can do. And I think that Ghost just going freaking crazy and seeing him take out Connie group members left and right. Maybe there's a mission that we could do where we infiltrate an area as Ghost and we're having to be very stealthy. Not open combat shit. No, I'm not talking about like an open combat mission like we did at the dam. I'm talking like you have to actually move stealthily, and it has an actual setup, and it just kind of showcases how skillful Ghost is. And I would love to see something like that. I think there's an opportunity for Ghost to really step out of that shell that he's kind of been in since Modern Warfare 2 and 3. And I think with Ghost also being a lieutenant and being kind of high up, there's more that he wants to do. There's more that he can do. And with Task Force 141 being maybe disavowed or being in Korea, who's to say that the reason that they're in Korea is because Captain Price is over there doing something, or he got sent over there after he killed Shepard, and maybe Ghost is in charge of Task Force 141, and now he's leading it in a more aggressive way, or he's leading it in a different way. There's a lot of directions that you can go with Ghost, and I'm really excited to see what can happen. And honestly, one of my favorite things about Modern Warfare is how much more we can talk about the world, how much more potential there is, how there's so many avenues that you can go and explore. When I'm looking at Black Ops, I feel like Black Ops is a little bit more limited, and there's a little bit more of like, oh yeah, this is what we can do, but we can't go explore too much out of the comfort that we're in. But with Modern Warfare, there's so much that you can do. I mean, what if the game opens up with Ghost kind of being on a solo mission to get revenge on Shadow, to finish an old mission that Soap wanted to do, and he ends up going to kill Graves? That would suck because I love Commander Graves, but like, could you freaking imagine if you start off the mission and it kind of sets the tone of like, we lost Soap a few years ago and I'm finally going to get revenge for this, and you're playing as Ghost, and he creeps up on Graves, somehow takes out a bunch of shadows, fucks him up, and then we end up going to North Korea, and now Ghost is like, and now we're gonna finish the last motherfucker, the one who poured the bullet in Soap. Like, that would be crazy. And then the theme of Modern Warfare 4 is obviously let's get Makarov, and also this revenge for Soap. Soap could be this like overarching figure that's kind of looking over everything that we're doing in Modern Warfare 4, and Ghost can be one of those main guys. Ghost can be one of the main leaders of the team, one of the main characters, right? When I look at Modern Warfare 2019, we had Alex as like one of the main guys, and then we had Gas as one of the main guys. And then Modern Warfare 2 was like Soap was one of the main guys, and maybe Graves was one of the main guys. And I never really felt that Ghost was really one of the guys like that we really get to play with. And the same thing could be said about Captain Price. So I think in Modern Warfare 4, maybe your main characters, or one of the few main characters that you play with, especially for the Special Air Service, I think you should be Ghost. I think he should be the playable character with Captain Price, and then maybe you have some other stuff going on with Gas and maybe some new team members. Again, this just like a small portion of what we could expect from Modern Warfare 4. This doesn't necessarily mean this is all I want. Of course I want Delta. Of course I want the US element. Of course I want the story to expand broader and bigger, more than just Task Force 141. But I think giving a lot of concentration to Ghost and having him go like full crazy unhinged mode might be really cool. I think it might give us something to have fun with. It gives us something to play with. You know, you kind of pull the curtain back on Ghost and see what he's truly capable of. Really see and have him put to practice all the things that we've heard of him. We've heard so much about him. We've read so much about him, but we've never really seen a lot of him. We've only seen small glimpses of the things that he can do. So I think it would be really cool to explore Ghost in Modern Warfare 4 just a little bit more.